Hello, you guys. So I have my beautiful model here, which is my sister. And we're just going to start off by wiping her face with a facial wipe here and just getting any excess dirt off of it. She did already come with a clean, freshly washed face, but it's just an extra step just to make sure any oils or anything she didn't get comes off. And so here in this step, I am applying a couple pieces of tape on the sides of her eye. That just helps with the eyeshadow and where it lays, and also with a liner as well. This is a very good step for beginners to just help give them a guide on where to place the eyeshadows and just a guide on the liner, because once you remove the tape, you have like a sharp line already. So that is what I'm doing here. So then I'm going in with the Becca Evermatte Poreless Primer, and I am speeding up some of these, the rest of these clips, just because this video was super long. But yes, I'm priming her eyebrows before I fill them in. So now I'm going in with a Wet n Wild pencil, I believe, and it's in the color darkest brown. I will have all the products in the description box below, so don't worry. So yeah, I'm just beginning to fill in her eyebrows here, and I'm just following, excuse me, the natural shape of her eyebrow. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here, and I'm taking small like strokes, and just really taking my time. Because this clip is sped up, it doesn't look like that, but I am. So once I get to like the front of the brow, I do like small like hair strokes and kind of like fill it in very lightly as well. So now I'm going to move on to the other eyebrow, making sure the camera is still recording, y'all. I don't know how many times I done that, like recorded and the camera wasn't recording. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Just following the natural shape of her brow and all of that good stuff. Now for the lighter, for the arch of her eye and the back part of her eyebrow, I did want kind of like a highlight, so I did use a lighter concealer, and I believe this is the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn. And so I'm just taking this Morphe 441 brush, I believe, and I'm just carving out her eyebrow. Now for the primer part, it does help to lay the brow down. That's why I do it, and keep all the hairs in place. So that's why I did use the primer. I forgot to tell you guys that. But now, yeah, I'm just doing the other brow. I'm just using tapping motions. And so for the front part of her brow, because you don't want that halo brow effect type thing. So for the front part and the top part of her brow, I did go in with a foundation shade, her color of her skin tone, to carve out the rest of the brow. And I'm just using the side of that brush to get the shape that I am looking for. And I just pull the concealer or the foundation upwards. So I got the brows all carved out and everything. So I'm just taking this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just like patting in all the product, blending everything together. As you can see here. Yeah, see my kids in the background. Okay. It is what it is, y'all. So I'm just patting all the product in, mixing it all together, making sure everything is nice and seamless. So that is what I'm doing here. So now I'm taking a concealer. I believe it's the LA Girl Pro Concealer, also in Fawn, and I'm just going to put that all over the lid and use it as my base. And you guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on another one of my uploads, you guys. And yeah, so I just used that concealer as a base. And I'm just patting that in all over her lid as well, making sure it's nice and seamless and all of that good jazz. So this is what I am doing here. So I did go on top of that concealer and set it with a translucent powder. Just, you know, when you use a cream, it's just good to set it with the powder, and it also helps to blend the eyeshadows out later on. So now I'm going in first with this color from the Anastasia Beverly Hills collaboration with Alyssa Edwards, and I'm using that yellow in that palette, and I'm just doing tapping motions in using windshield wiper motions as well, just to build up the color intensity a little bit first. So now I'm going in with this Morphe, I believe it's the Fierce palette, and it's like a corally orange color in that palette, and I'm just going to tap that right under that yellow that I applied, and I'm just tapping that on, building up the intensity of that color. And I'm using a Morphe brush. I don't know the number of this brush, but yeah, I would try to have it linked in the description box below. So yeah, I'm just tapping that on and at the same time blending it out as well. So this is what I'm doing here. So now I took two colors out of the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette volume 1. It was like a burgundy shade and then the black in the palette. And I just mixed those two together, and now I'm just kind of like packing that on top of that orange there. And like this is what we got, kind of like a sunset type of thing going on. So now it's time to cut the crease. So I am using a Morphe 441 brush and Milani concealer to cut the crease here. And I'm using tapping motions to get the desired shape that I want here. So that is what I'm doing here. Just using the tapping motion, this allows me to just have more control over the shape of the crease when you do tapping motions instead of just like going straight across, unless you just a pro like that, okay? So yeah, so I cut both of the creases, and this is what we have. So now I'm just going to go in and pat off that excess off the lid. I really like doing this step. It just helps everything to just kind of be flat and matte so that you can go ahead and lay down your colors on top of that. So now I went back into the Anastasia Alyssa Edwards palette, and I'm using that white in that palette, and I'm just placing that on the inner corner of her eye here, the beginning part of her eye, and I'm taking it kind of midway down the midway, kind of in the middle of the eye here. And that is what I'm doing here, and I'm just packing that color on little by little, just building up the intensity of the color to what I want it to be. So now I went into the, believe the Fierce palette, and I'm taking, it's like a shimmery corally orange color in there. And it is a shimmer, and I'm taking that and I'm just placing that right next to that white, right in the middle of her eyelid, making a sort of a gradient effect here. And that's what I'm doing here, and I'm applying that with a random brush. I don't know where I got this brush yet. I've been having this brush for a while. So yeah, so as I'm placing it, I am blending out the edges a little bit into that white. And so to close up the crease, I did go back into that orange corally shade that I used in the crease. And I just placed that on the outer corner of the eye. Just kind of packed that on the outer corner. Just making sure everything was nice and blended. And then I did also go back in with some of that black and burgundy shade that I mixed together. And I just placed that also on the outer corner of the eye, right on top of that orange. And kind of just blended everything together as I was packing it on, as you can see. So yeah, now I put some NYX primer glitter primer on the top of that white. And I'm going to get closer here in a minute. And I'm using this glitter from Kiki Adams here. The name of the glitter will be in the description box below. I absolutely love her glitters, you guys. You guys really need to go check her out. Her line is called Glow Up Academy, you guys. And I did a video on one of her glitters already. So yeah, you can go check that video out. But yes, I'm using this goldish glitter here on the inner part of her eye. And I did go ahead and do the liner. And I think I used NYX liquid liner here. And I'm just showing you just some of the liner process. So yeah, as you can see how that tape allows you to get that sharp line there. And then I did go ahead and apply the lashes off camera. And now I'm moving on to the face. So I did prime her face using the Evermatte primer and some of the Revlon Primer Plus primer. And now I'm applying her foundation. I used the Clinique foundation in the color Clove for her. And I'm just applying it with a Real Techniques Face Expert brush, and I'm just packing it in. And so now I'm going under her eyes using the Juvias Place concealer in number 10, and I'm just applying that under her eyes with this Real Techniques brush here, and I'm just packing it in. I'm having the client or the model look straight up because it just helps you get all the way under the eyes, and yeah, it helps you to blend it out more seamlessly and making sure everything is coming together. So I am using packing motions to blend that out as well. And then I did take a little brush to kind of get closer in to her eyes, a smaller brush I mean, and I'm just like, blending that in, packing that in as well around her nose and, all that stuff. So that is just what I'm doing here. So I did also go ahead and highlight her chin area, and also I just used whatever was left on a brush to highlight her forehead just a little bit, and that is what I'm doing here, and just blending everything together. I really like this color concealer on her skin tone. So now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and apply the contour, and I'm using the Juvias Place contour stick in the color Congo. And I'm going to go ahead, I just used a real little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that out. And I'm pushing the contour up because the contour is supposed to make an effect as if your cheekbones are lifted up. So I'm making sure I'm pushing the product up as I blend it out, if that makes any sense. Maybe you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here in the video. So I'm just blending out her forehead. And as you can see, I'm just pushing it upwards and blending at the same time. So now I'm going under her eyes, and I'm just setting all those places where I put the concealer at. And I did mix together some Ben Nye, and I think it was Maybelline Fit Me powder. I'm not sure, but like I said, I will have all the products in the description box below. So I'm just going in and I'm setting all those places where I placed the concealer. And we are doing a little bit of baking today, not overly or anything like that. So yes, I'm just kind of packing it in right now. And now I'm like kind of dusting off the excess and kind of packing in or pressing in the powder as well as I'm doing that. So of course, like we set the highlight, we also have to go in and set the contour. And I think I'm using a MAC pressed powder, I believe, in deepest dark or dark deepest. And I'm just going ahead and I'm setting all the places that I contoured her face at with that same brush that I blended it out, and just making sure everything is nice and set in place and all of that. So yeah, I did take a little bit of translucent powder, and I just set the rest of her face using this fluffy brush, all the places where I did not set either with the powder from the highlight or the powder from the contour, and that's what I'm doing here. So now I'm taking this LA Girl Shockwave liner, and I'm just using this color in her waterline just to bring a little color here at the bottom, and I'm having her look up. I just think this helps the client's eyes not water for me, and then it just helps me to just go ahead and go in really fast with the liner, so I don't have to take all day, because the longer you take, the more likely it is for their eyes to water. So now I'm taking this Juvia's Place palette, and I'm using this dark blue that's in the palette, and I'm just smudging out her lower lash line using this dark blue. Again, just wanting to add a pop of color at the bottom of our lash line. I just felt like it'd go really good with the orange that's on her lid. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here, and I am using a smudger brush to do that. And I'm just being very, very carefully, doing it very, very carefully. And that is what I'm doing here. So now I'm going in and I'm spraying her face, setting everything together. And I'm using the Maybelline 16-hour wear spray. And I'm just spraying it all over her face. So now that I got her face set and sprayed, I am highlighting. I just believe once you like spray the face and then do the highlighter on top, it just helps the highlighter pop a little bit. So I am bringing some glow into her skin. So I just highlighted a little top of her nose and all that good jazz. So now I'm going in with a brown lip liner here. Kind of the same color as her lip. Can't really tell this one on there. And I'm just outlining her lips here. And now I am just filling it in a little bit. I did initially go in with like a really nude color. But then I did switch up the color. I don't know if I got it on camera or not. So now I'm applying a little bit of that nudish shade on her lips here with the lip brush. And I did do that. I think after I realized it'll pop better with a color, I did go on with like a corally color. I don't know if I got any shots of it or not. So yeah, now I'm going on top of her lip here with a Milani lip lacquer in nude. And I'm just applying that all over her lids. It's more like a gloss than a lipstick. So yeah, that is what I'm doing here. Yeah, you guys, so this is the finished look. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love how it turned out. I think it was just really, really, really nice and beautiful. I did try to get some low light clips in here and some clips with my ring light. So yeah, you guys, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and remember that God loves you, I love you, and it's important that you love yourself. And if you haven't given your life to Jesus, I encourage you to do so today, you guys. And until next time, you guys, thank you all for all that you do. Guard your hearts, guard your mind. And until next time, I love you guys. Bye-bye.